Oh my God. It is actually colder in my car than it is outside, and my car has all the windows up. Oh my God. I mean, I also could just be, I'm also just hot because, I'm just hot because I was just walking around for a while. Damn. I got so many bug bites on me. God damn. Whew. Wow, man. There's so much stuff happening. Like, there are so many things happening, like, just in general. It's insane to me. Hold on, I got a text. There was a tick there. So, it's just insane to me. There's so many things going on. And I was walking around, and I want to talk about one thing in particular that's always in my mind, especially, actually very recently, and especially since I got into a relationship with someone. Something that I've just came to understand is understanding. And this is gonna sound kind of funny, but like I work out, I go to the gym, and it is really hard, especially nowadays, to go off and start, because there are so many people telling you what to do, what not to do, you know, this is bad, this is not bad, and it can be honestly like incredibly overwhelming, as it was for me when I first started working out, and it still is now. Like, I'm still trying to find my mojo, and I've been working out consistently for about a year and a half now. Like, it's still incredibly, like, there's so many different ways to work out. But the worst thing is that a lot of people just keep calling each other out for things. Like, people constantly just call each other out over and over and over again about everything. Like, your working out style, you know, the way that you lift, what you eat, the movement, like everything. Like the days, your splits, every single thing. And it's almost like everything is wrong, but everything is right at the same exact time. That's what it feels like. And I think what is really annoying to me is that there's just a lot of hate. And there's just a lot of, like there's just not even just in fitness, but in the whole world. There's just a lot of non-understanding. There is a lot of belief and no one understanding each other. Like, no one understands each other. And back to what I was saying about fitness, like, let's say I have my friend, right? And he works out a certain way, and I work out a certain way. And we get mad at each other because we work out in that way. First off, like, there's no point in you getting, you know, worked up and mad over the way someone works out. First off, that's just not really great. But also at the same time, it depends, you know, everything depends, because there's always a factor. Like, I might have, but let's say in this scenario, like, I might work out more than him, but let's say in this scenario, we both started working out, and we both started looking at different ways to work out. Let's say I want to do MMA, and then they want to do bodybuilding, right? And that's a big two different groups. An MMA fighter will say, like, oh, you got to work out this way, this way, this way, this way. And a bodybuilder will say, you got to work out this way, this way, this way. So me and my friend will now have differences in the way we work out. And now we might get angry at each other because of that. But there's no understanding. Like, if I just knew that my friend was doing bodybuilding, and that's the way he worked out, so it might work for him, and that's the way that he is thinking, and that's his, like, whole agenda is working out as a bodybuilder, like, then you got to start thinking and understanding, like, a person's situation. All the information, and especially in this era, because in this day and age, everything is on the internet, and also everything is out there as, you know, information. Sometimes it's annoying because you can't get mad at someone for the way that they work out or their beliefs, when that's just what they believe. It's the same way that you might believe that a hot dog is a sandwich and not something else, right? It's just their belief, you know? That's just how it is. And you just have to understand that that's their belief. Don't get mad at them that that's their belief, you know, whatever it is. even if it's something, and sure, there might be stuff that's objectively bad, like killing and people believing that it's right to kill. That is objectively bad, right? But you can also think about it and understand why they might be doing that. They might be a psychopath and they're mentally ill, or it's part of their belief. But there's also still a morality, and that's like the ground. That's the rule base. There's always a morality. And in that case, there's no moral. Like that's, you got to think about, the morals in that case. But just day-to-day life and just understanding people in general. And like I said before, ever since coming into my relationship with my girlfriend, I've started to understand things a lot more. And this goes a long way with relationships. If you understand your partner and their situation, everything makes a lot more sense. Everything makes a lot more sense. Like, for example, like with me and my partner, like she might, I might not necessarily know what's going on with her in that moment. And so I can't be getting upset with her if she's upset at me for something really stupid. Because here's the thing, right? I need to understand what's going through her head, what's happening right now, but I don't. So I have to have the understanding that that's the case, and I don't get mad at them. Oh, it's gonna get rainy soon. There's always a certain amount of understanding when it comes to every single thing. And that can apply to really everything in life. My friends make fun of me for like going to outdoors and going to the park, right? But they also don't understand that means a lot to me. But it's also in my importance to not get mad at them for them dissing on me, because I might do those things because they don't understand. Everyone needs to have a certain amount of understanding, because once you understand the reasons for something happening, the chances of you being aggressive and making a situation worse go down so much. Excuse my language, but I might genuinely be a dumbass here, and this makes no sense whatsoever, but it does, at least in my head, that if you have an understanding of a certain topic or a certain detail in someone's life, then everything starts to make more sense. Like I was saying before about, maybe my girlfriend or something. She might have something going on in her life. That's why she's mad at me. Not because she's just being mad at me just to be mad at me. There's always a certain amount of understanding, which is why in any of those particular situations, I'm not going to go on the aggressive just because she's mad at me. But also, sometimes they might point you out as the problem, but in reality, it's something that they are holding back to themselves, and you have to have an understanding of that in more ways than one. And it's not just day-to-day life. Like, this goes a long way politically. I am not a political person whatsoever. Like, I am not keeping up with the news at all. But world events like Russia versus Ukraine, in the Middle East, like those conflicts going on, if you think about it and understand, there's always two sides to something, right? There might be a middle ground, but in most cases, the middle ground is like very few and far between. But that's not to say that it's entirely right for them to attack Ukraine at all. Like, that is blatantly wrong, and that correlates, and that's the wrong part of it. That's the morality part of it. And that's objectively wrong. And that will always be objectively wrong. What was it called? And then you turn to conflicts like in the Middle East. Some of this stuff is just genuinely part of their religion. And religion is one of those things where it's like, it can be a huge problem. And I myself am not a fully practicing Christian. But I'm like one of those few people that believe in all three of the sects of, I guess, the Abrahamic beliefs. I like correlate to all three because all three of them make sense, you know, whatnot. But, like, their form of religion, that's just what they believe in, that's what they grew up in, that's what they want to believe. So, you know, that's like their rule set. That's what religion is. It's their set of rules. And if you believe in something, you know, and one of those rules is being broken, that's how conflict starts. Because it's like, my rule is being broken. I need to put a war to this, you know? And your God, or whom belief it is, might say, like, or it might genuinely say, go kill someone. And then, like, if that's something that, like, if it's something you genuinely believe in, then, like, that's why, like, people go and do these things. That's why they do it. And these people have family. Like, they're not evil villains. Some of them are. But, like, you get what I mean. But, like, but they also do have families. Like, they have the same thing that me and you do. But their beliefs are different, which just makes them want to do these things. But in the end, at the end of the day, in my book, if it breaks that moral code, then, like, then there is a problem, you know? Belief can be incredibly scary. Incredibly scary. It can be real messed up. It just takes one person to think about it and believe it, and that allows them to do atrocities. It's literally the law telling them to commit atrocities and to violate human rights. Their own belief is telling them to do that. And if you truly believe in it, then that's where the scary part comes in. That's where it comes in. Like, everyone is relatable in some way. And it's important to have that understanding before you go into a situation and start something. No matter who it is. If it's you versus your friend, your partner, if you're on the side of, like, Israel versus Palestine, like, Ukraine and Russia, all that kind of stuff, all the conflict, Democrat or Republican, no matter what it is, like, always have an understanding of the other side, in my case. I'm not telling you not to believe in those things and telling you those are objectively wrong, because that's also part of the understanding, because you can then understand, like, some of this stuff is right, some of this stuff is wrong. Then come to a conclusion yourself, you know? That's why politics, to me, are some of the most stupidest things you could ever have. Politics, to me, are incredibly stupid, because you have two sides, but if you think about it and you go into it, both sides are guilty of the same exact thing, no matter what. In the past, you know, in the present, no matter what, they're guilty of the same exact thing. And in the end, is it really worth it to hurt other people and to say wrong things and do wrong things when you don't even understand what the other side is? You don't even understand who you're arguing against. I don't know. Take it what you will. You know? I'm not here to tell you that your belief is wrong. I'm just here to tell you to understand. And understanding and how important it is as human beings to understand.